What's up, Reboots here. Now, 2025, there's lots of really interesting and fun reboots slash remakes. Because, once in a while there'll always be a remake or reboot that was not be so great. But there are some reboots, like the Red Sonja remake that came out this year. That's probably the worst of them all. But there are some really decent ones in my opinion. Now, these are my opinion. Some of these films are probably not going to be unpopular, should say, with some people. But this is my personal list. And I don't really, get what you say, what's the unpopular thing or not. Coming in at number 10 is one I literally just checked out. And I guess you could say it's more of a meta reboot more than anything. You know, but number 10 is Anaconda. Again, this is actually more of a meta reboot here. It's not like a full-on remake, nothing like that. But, hey, I still had a fun time with it. It was definitely entertaining. Haven't done my review for it yet. I'll probably give that out sometime soon. But I had a fun time with Anaconda. I thought it was entertaining, endearing. Definitely a cool callback to the original. This is of course a film about two buddies who decides to go remake their favorite film, Anaconda, and fun cameos here and there. If you guys haven't seen it, it's in theaters. Give that one a go. All right, number 9 is oh boy, it's gonna be unpopular to say. But I enjoyed this one more than most people did. And boy, if I look at the IMDb score, definitely it's going to be unpopular to say. But it's just my opinion. Number 9 is Snow White. Yes, I really thought the Snow White remake that came out this year, it wasn't as the best Disney live action film, nothing like that. I still think the best one will probably be The Jungle Book, to be honest, yeah. Definitely not as good as Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, nothing like that. But I still thought it was pretty decent. I actually, I kid you not, I actually really liked the dwarves. I kid you not, the dwarves was actually my favorite part in this. And I'm also gonna say as someone popular, I'm really so glad that they decided to go with this route with the dwarves. And I really thought they still lots of saints here. Rachel Zegler, I thought was great. Now, I would admit when people say that Gal Gadot was the weakest part, I will actually agree with that. I did think Gal Gadot was great, but if you take Gal Gadot aside and just focus on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs stuff, it actually makes for a really entertaining film. I like the music that was included. I know it was a decent film. I don't know why. Yeah, there are probably. I guess I could see why people didn't like it. Yeah, Gal Gadot wasn't a strong wasn't a strong one for this, but hey, I still thought it was a really the music. I really liked the way the film looked, and I thought it was a pretty decent one. And Rachel Zegler, I think, is a wonderful actress. I don't care what Andy, cousin, cave dwellers, say about her. I think she's amazing. And she's on Broadway, by the way. So for anyone saying that her career is over, blah blah blah, she's on Broadway. So or the West End, but I guess that's the same thing as Broadway. But still, she's doing really good for herself there. All right, number 8 is the remake of The Toxic Avenger. I had a blast with this film. I thought it was fun. The violence was really cool. Of course, Peter Dinklage was great. Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood. I just had a blast with this film, and I thought it was a really good remake. And it's such a shame hardly no one went to go see it. But if you guys haven't seen it, give it a go. It's well worth a watch there. All right, number 7 is another live-action remake that came out this year, and that is the new How to Train Your Dragon. This was more better than Hanging Intention being. I didn't really, expect much out of it. I thought it looked decent. But going in, I really thought it was a remarkable film. Mason James was great. Of course, Nico Parker was good in this one. St. Gerard Butler in this was really cool. I thought it was a really decent remake. Is it as good as the anime film? Maybe not, but I still thought it was a really decent one. And it makes me more excited for the sequel when that comes out. All right, number 6 is another live-action remake, and that is the live-action remake of Leo and Stitch. I really thought this remake was really decent. Loved the way Stitch looked. I loved the other cast of characters here. The little girl in this, Maya Kalo, I think her name is. She was really good. I like that they got the original actor who plays Stitch to come back for this instead of like getting a major big famous guy. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, it was a really decent remake in my opinion. All right, number five is pretty much a sequel slash reboot, but that is The Naked Gun. The Naked Gun, of course, this film is also in my top 10 favorite sequels because I consider it as both a sequel and a reboot in a way. But I really thought the Naked Gun with Liam Neeson, a reboot of the Leslie Nielsen film, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was hilarious at times. His chemistry with Pamela Anderson was great. I thought it was a really solid reboot, and it's well worth watching. Number four is Begona. Now, of course, this is a remake of the Korean film called Save the Green Planet. And of course, obviously, you got Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. I know it was a really solid, take on that original film. Emma Stone's really good. Jesse Plemons is great. I like the sci-fi elements. Emma Stone might get her fourth Oscar nomination for this. Who knows? But yeah, that was a really good one there. And Yorgos Lanthimos, him and Emma Stone work really well together. Number three is Highest to Lowest. Now, Highest to Lowest, of course, is Spike Lee's remake of the Akira Kurosawa film, which is actually titled High and Low. I think this remake was really decent. Denzel was great. ASAP Rocky was really good in this one as well. And really cool that it was like a music mogul this time around. I just thought it was a really decent one. ASAP Rocky, by the way, is obviously he came from a rapping background and he really gave a solid performance in this movie. I mean, of course, obviously Spike Lee, it's a great Spike Lee joint. I mean, it's a really decent one if you guys never seen that. All right, number two is Fantastic Four First Steps. I was really glad that this movie turned out the way it was. It's probably, I even thought it was the best Fantastic Four movie since the one from 2005 because I'm actually a defender of that one. I really quite like the way Galactus looked. I love the scene, production design here. The post credit and the end credit scenes were pretty decent. I thought it was a really decent reboot. I mean, this was obviously the second attempt at rebooting it, and I thought they did a great job. Hopefully, the sequel will be great, and obviously, we'll see the Fantastic Four again with Doomsday next year. So, and of course, number one is not only a movie reboot, but a whole cinematic reboot. And you know where I'm going with this one. Number one is Superman. Not only is this a film reboot, but it is also a DC reboot, like a whole reboot of a cinematic universe. Because of course, obviously DC was pretty much the end of the water here. And of course, Superman came around. James Gunn did a great job at rebooting this whole franchise. And David Cornsworth, I thought was a great Superman. I thought it was terrific all around, fun, entertaining. Cornsworth is great. It's such a really good one. I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's well worth watching. And of course, obviously, you cannot wait to see the next Superman film, which is Man of Tomorrow, which that comes out in 2027. So I can say this is a whole reboot of the DCU. So can't wait to see what else James Gunn does in the future. But that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Anaconda. 9, Snow White. 8, The Toxic Avenger. 7, How to Train Your Dragon. 6, Leo and Stitch. 5, The Naked Gun. 4, Begona. 3, Highest to Lowest. 2, Fantastic Four First Steps. And number 1 is Superman. Now, a couple of honorable mentions I like to include The Roses, which is the remake of The War of the Roses. Another one I like to include is Kiss of the Spider Woman, with Jennifer Lopez. On the TV front, I will also like to include The Four Seasons, which is the Netflix series based on the Alan Alda film. I mean, hey, obviously not every reboot was great this year. Red Sonja is definitely the worst there. But hey, I'm trying to think of some other reboots that came out this year. Let me. Of course, Kiss of Spider Woman. Let's see what else we got here. The Roses is great. I should roll this down before I went live. My bad, guys. Let's see. On B list. Yeah, you know what? My honorable mention would just, as of right now, would just be the Roses and Kiss Sparkman. Those would definitely be my honorable mention. Uh, is there any other ones I left off? But anyway, let me let you guys. What's some of your favorite reboots slash remakes of 2025? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy Sire.